Okay, I was just going to say real quick, if anybody's like me who gets planners or what have you and spends so much time trying to work the planner, and so you waste time trying to use the planner exactly the way it needs to be, and then you get frustrated if you can't do it exactly the way it is. The one thing that's great about Allyson and John is they tell you how to use the planner for your situation. And the easiest example I can give is the 5 before 11. I was like, I'm not going to do this until I know I can get everything in before 11. And I got to this point through the Mastermind class that I was able to sit there and go, I'm looking at my 15-minute increment. Come 3 o'clock, I have no time between 3 and 11 to do anything worthwhile. And so I changed it to say 5 before 2, because realistically for me, my open time was 2 o'clock. So if you're one of those people who has to use something exactly the way it is, let it go. It is okay. Just give yourself that grace to say, you know what, I need to have this planner work for me. And Allyson and John are great at helping you figure out what that looks like.
And I think you hit a word, and Angela, I'm almost surprised you didn't say it till now. When Angela, I don't know, a year or so ago, when I was asking her for how her experience was, the big word that came out again and again was she found the ability to give herself grace. And she was in a graceless existence, and that's a painful, guilty, failure place to be. And she found the ability to give herself grace. So that's, yeah. And by the way, that 5 before 11, it's more like guidelines, you know.
Yes.
Not long. So, but Jerry, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I know that it may seem like a lot of money. I'll be honest with you, it may seem like a lot of money, but I bought the book and I bought the planner to be supportive of John when he first told me he was going to be my sister thing. I'll buy the book.
A pity vote.
Really, like you support your sibling, you know. And so I bought the book and I bought the planner and I read the planner. I was like, oh, cool. But it really is the Mastermind group and being authentic in the Mastermind group. You know, like right now, there really is no need for me to script my day 15 minutes at a time because I'm not employed, but that was critical at one time. So like Angela said, you know, the 5 before 11, you know, 5 before 11 at one point while being laid off became, yeah, I really do have to get out of bed and get dressed. I got rock bottom. So I was authentic about the group. I was like, I got out of bed, I got dressed, I went to the unemployment office and said, how do I enroll? You know, the group gives you a lot of grace. And they're like, that's great, Jerry. You know, it was hard for me to admit I was unemployed and I was going to file for unemployment. So bringing your authentic self to the Mastermind group, people, we found, we just met each other where they were at, and people will get to know you. So like yesterday, we were really great at saying, well, Susan, for 2 years, we've been listening to you say you value this. So is that really a stumbling block? Or some change? With Angela, we hadn't heard from her for a while because her life, a bunch of changes in it. And then when she came back, we could point out to her that her whole affect was much more, while she wasn't necessarily where she needed to be, we could see she was further along than she had been. So if you will bring your authentic, so what I'm trying to say is the Mastermind group really will make a difference. Just getting the materials and reading them and going at it alone. I just don't know that anybody has I don't know anybody who has the discipline to make that successful. And it's great because you get to know the people in your class and they can see progress or they can see answers where you can't.
Yeah.
So I would, I think it's well worth the investment.
Mm-hmm. There's some days when you think you have just failed. I just bombed. And then somebody will say, well, Susan, did you do this? And I went, well, yeah. Well, did you do that? I went, well, yeah. And then all of a sudden it's like, I've got wins. And you're just so excited, and it changes everything. The other people in your group bring so much to the table. Yeah. And you bond with these people. You end up with lasting friendships, and you keep each other accountable. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Cool.